Hey everyone, and welcome to the Google for Startups Accelerator for Black Founders 2021 Virtual Demo Day. My name is Jason Scott, and I head up Google's startup developer ecosystem efforts in the US. And back in August of 2021, we officially launched the second annual Google for Startups Accelerator for Black Founders program, a Google for Startups technical accelerator designed specifically to support Black-led technology startups across North America. And over the last 10 weeks, the accelerator has brought the best of Google's programs, products, people, and technology to our startups. In addition to machine learning, artificial intelligence, and technical project support, the program has focused on product design and UX, customer acquisition, and leadership development for our founders and their teams. And as always, we've kept them incredibly busy. So today, we are excited to show you what they've been up to. In a moment, we will allow each of our 11 founders and their teams the opportunity to tell you more about their impactful companies and what they've been working on. As a reminder, each founder will be given about 5 minutes to present their companies, and we will then have time for one question per company. Also, our teams will be available on chat, so get your questions ready. First up, it is my pleasure to introduce the team at Acclinate, coming to us from Birmingham, Alabama. Acclinate is a digital health startup using culture and technology to source diverse participants for clinical trials. Off to Acclinate.
Hi, my name is Del Smith, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Acclinate. Acclinate is a trusted digital health company integrating culture and technology to source diverse participants for clinical trials. According to the latest US Census Bureau, the US population is 43% racial and ethnic minority and growing. Yet if we look at clinical trial participants, only about 4% of those participants come from a racial or ethnic minority group. Now, why is this an issue? Pharmaceutical companies spend over $2 billion to get a single drug to market. And the FDA has recently gave notice that if they do not diversify their clinical trial participants, they stand a chance of their drug not being approved. In the US alone, today, if we look at phase 3 clinical trials, which is the most widely known clinical trial, if we were trying to have adequate US representation for Blacks in those trials, we would need over 200,000 African Americans to take part today. And if we combine that with the cost it takes to recruit and retain participants according to industry standards, we need to spend over $280 million to adequately meet that representation. Now, the current industry approach to achieve this is ineffective. It goes something like this. Hi, my name is Dell. I'm from a pharmaceutical company. You don't know me, but would you like to take part in my clinical trial? For many people, the answer is, I don't think so. And from racial and ethnic minority groups who have a history of distrust of the medical system, the answer is more like, hell no. So we changed this approach by first engaging with minority communities, specifically the African American community, on issues related to health to be able to build trust and engagement. Now, that trust and engagement allows us to collect data and feed it into a backend system we developed called Edict, which stands for Enhanced Diversity in Clinical Trials. Edict is our HIPAA compliant platform using AI and machine learning to source diverse participants from our community. Now, we built a diverse and experienced team to approach this issue. They have a mix of backgrounds in technology and community engagement and marketing, and this team is ready to tackle this issue. Now, we've had some success since we started this process. We've grown our community members to 7,000, and that number is growing exponentially. We've also achieved over $1.2 million in revenue for the fiscal year 2021 alone, and we're projected to reach over $2 million by the end of this year. And we're signing agreements with major pharmaceutical companies who want and need our platform in order to meet their diversity goals. We think we're well positioned to be able to tackle a $10 billion industry. And if we think about the fact that today alone, there are over 37,000 active clinical trials recruiting, we have an opportunity to really grow our company and to really tap into that market. And so we're working with pharmaceutical companies, contract research organizations, and academic medical centers to be able to provide them with a license to our platform and services in order to reach their diversity goals. Early next year, we plan to go out in the market to look for growth capital, and we're very interested in talking with strategic investors who are aligned with our mission and want to see us grow. And if that's you, we'd love to talk to you. And lastly, We'd love for you to join our movement by going to www.nowincluded.com. Thank you.
Thank you to Acclinate for kicking things off. And our first question from the audience: how will you be able to scale your community to other minority groups, and how will you enrich the data in a HIPAA compliant manner?
Currently, Acclinate is unapologetically focused on the Black community. We believe it's very, very important for us to understand the health issues that impact the Black community and to utilize that as a competitive advantage as we move forward as a company. At some point in the future, we will probably look at expanding outside of just focusing on African American community. But for right now, we believe it's very, very important that we address this issue within the Black community. And we believe that as a company, we could be very, very successful in maintaining that focus. When it comes to data, privacy and HIPAA compliance is paramount. That cannot be in question. And so everything that we do on a company, from our technology platform to the way that we interact with individuals, it's all under the guise of HIPAA, being ethical, and privacy. And so that is really, really important. So as we gather data, we ensure that our systems are HIPAA compliant, which is why we're very, very excited about being on the Google Cloud platform, because that is a HIPAA compliant platform that helps us ensure that we maintain that compliance and that privacy that's necessary.
Thank you again to Dell and the Acclinate team. Up next, we'll hear from Adaptics, based in Pleasanton, California. Adaptics is an AI/ML startup that works with large industrial semiconductor, electronic, and assembly companies. Off to the team to tell you more.
Hi, thank you. My name is Anthony Hill. I'm founder and CEO of Adaptics. I just want to say thank you so much to Google and the Black Founders infrastructure and program that you guys have put together. It has just been amazing to be a part of that, and really excited to present here at the Black Founders Demo Day. So a little background on Adaptics. Adaptics is pioneering AI-powered automation software to make the enterprise autonomous. So in fact, our whole mission is to make the enterprise autonomous, enabling it to be driven fully by an autonomous software layer, starting with the digital worker and going across the lower level of the technology stack in an enterprise, from motion to the machine to man and all of the processes and applications that run on top of this. These are all powered by our AI-powered engine. In fact, we believe this is the first complete autonomous technology stack for the enterprise. And we're really excited to bring that to the market with Google and our financial partners. Just simple terms, on the left side here, we show enterprise data ingestion. Now, historically, companies have been able to ingest data pretty far down in the stack, but unable to unlock data at the lowest layers where the machine and technology really operate and are controlled. We now enable that technology to be unlocked and controlled. All of that data is ingested into our Adaptics autonomous software architecture, and the enterprise has full and complete control through an iPad or a mobile device. So now companies can run their enterprise efficiently and at lower cost. We know the challenges that companies are facing today with the pandemic, COVID pandemic, and manufacturing plants being shut down, people not being allowed to go to work, chip shortage because they can't see where their data is and where their technology and supply are. They can now do that with our Adaptics Edge Ops technology. We believe we're sort of like Tesla for the enterprise, where enterprises will run on software and be able to fully manage everything in their enterprise, from what we call on carpet and off carpet, all integrated into one platform and powered by AI. This is, on the right side, a typical customer environment that we have, where we have 1,900 models just running with one BU across two continents enabling our customer to run 1,900 models and just 95 billion data ingestions, detect over 100,000 anomalies on their equipment live. This is a live, real customer of ours. And so we're really excited about the capability and potential to deploy this across other companies. In fact, when we look at it, it's a huge opportunity. Just with the 4 customers we have, there's 810,000 pieces of equipment, potentially 16.2 models. All, if you look at our current rates that we charge our customers, something like a $9.7 billion opportunity or market across these 4 customers. Now, we don't expect we're going to sign every one of these customers and get 100% of their market, but it's just a sampling of what the potential really is. We have a seasoned team made up of seasoned professionals from Rockwell International, Hitachi, Foxconn, and Intel. Seasoned team leading this. We believe we have one of the most seasoned teams in the industry from a startup perspective. We're lucky to have excellent investment partners like Celesta, SoftBank, Micron, Morgan Stanley, X2 Equity. I would encourage you to take a look at the company and help us take this company further in our next round. Again, I want to thank you very much for the time and allowing us to be a part of this Google Black Founders Demo Day. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much to the Adaptics team for another great presentation. And now a question for you. What are the barriers to entry in your industry, and what is the key differentiator for Adaptics solution?
All right, great question. Actually, the barriers to entry, there's a few. Actually, you have to have some level of depth and knowledge data science field. These are complicated algorithms that really require some level of domain expertise, technology expertise, process expertise within a company. So there's several barriers to entry in terms of just understanding the field and the domain and the area of software development around data science. Now, a lot of that is being simplified and more commoditized every day with large companies that are automating many of these functions. So we have gone a step further by innovating, by really focusing on innovation around the area of data science. So we couple data science with very innovative technology that really differentiates us from probably hundreds of AI ML companies that exist out in the field. So hopefully this is the clear answer. I think there are several domain software barriers to entry the barriers are coming down and many companies are entering. So we're driving differentiation by developing true innovative technology to integrate the area of data science into our platform. And that's really what's separating Adaptics from the rest of the companies. I hope that's clear. Thank you. It was a great question.
Another fantastic job, and congratulations to Adaptics. Next, I'm thrilled to introduce All Here Education, a Boston-based startup whose solution fosters student attendance and supports families and students with mobile messaging powered by artificial intelligence.
Hi, everyone. My name is Joanna Smith, and I'm the CEO of All Here, where we help schools to improve engagement and absenteeism outcomes. I'm so excited to give you a brief overview of who we are, what we do, as well as where we've been. The first thing that I'll point out is that I have the fortune of leading a world class team that has direct experience in education. Myself, I got into this work after having taught 6th and 8th grade math and really had challenges recovering students who are missing too much class. Our chief product officer, her name is Miss Alia Huck. We poached her from McGraw Hill, where prior she was behind the development of some of EdTech's biggest household names in terms of products. Our VP of Sales and Marketing's name is Kristen. She joined us where she previously led marketing efforts at Dreambox, and our CTO was Rhett Smith, who was previously the chief software architect at McGraw-Hill. The problem that All Here focuses on is chronic absenteeism. So missing too much school, usually a month or more for any reason. Pre-COVID, about 8 million students missed a month or more of school each year. Now that number has gone up to as much as 25 million youth who are missing that much school. And it's a problem because not only is it a hidden educational crisis, but schools tend to lack scalable tools to tackle it. The types of solutions that schools typically use tend to be things like tutoring programs, mentoring, visiting families and kids houses, and even some of those tactics have been taken off of the table as a function of COVID. There are major implications of missing too much class to both outcomes on an individual child level and the macro level of youth dropout rates. And that's what motivates our team to solve this. The solution that we've created is a conversational AI platform to increase K-12 engagement and attendance at scale. Any student is able to get research-backed support 24/7 over text. So no matter what the barrier is to their absenteeism, they get accurate, automated help that's pulling from their school's information system platforms to get them back on track. How it typically works is that there's no software for a student or parent to download. They experience it as a text thread, and the chats are constantly pulling information out of student information systems and learning management platforms around topics like grades, coursework, as well as absences, and provisioning them into actionable updates for families and kids on the proactive side. And reactively, the moment that a student or family identifies a challenge, they get connected to the right resource to get them back on track. And with that, thank you. We have accomplished so much in the scope of the Google program, which includes getting Google Ads launched, as well as getting our Google Classroom integration launched. And although we are not actively raising at this time, as we recently did close our Series A rounds, we are always happy and thrilled to connect with anyone who has comments, feedback, or expertise in this space as we go even deeper into our mission of eliminating every barrier to kids' educational opportunity. And with that, thank you so much.
Thanks to the All Here team. Our audience would love to know more about how you plan to leverage AI/ML in helping students, parents, and teachers as you scale your business.
We did not invent the chatbot, but what we have been able to do is tailor it specifically to the requirements of K-12. And to do that well, AI and ML is a key part of the equation. It helps us to understand things like in our text threads, jargon, needs from parents, needs from kids, and enhances our capacity to provide authentic, accurate support in a 24/7 contact. So as we grow and scale, we're getting deeper and deeper into using AI and ML to architect conversational pathways that help to get students back on track.
Such important work from the All Here team. And up next, we have Chat Desk from New York. Chat Desk uses machine learning to scale support teams with the click of a button. Off to Chat Desk to tell you more.
Hi, I'm Anato from the Chat Desk team. We use machine learning to scale support teams with the click of a button. On the right here is a screenshot from our platform. This fast-growing brand, Thinks, uses Chat Desk to respond to their social messages. And these people are freelancers called Chat Desk experts who provide customer support through our platform. What's the problem? Fast-growing companies receive a lot of emails, chats, social media messages. It's tough for them to respond to all the messages because it takes sometimes up to 3 months to ramp up and train new customer support agents. And the end result is not just bad customer experience, it's also lost sales because many of those questions are product questions that if you answer them, customers will purchase. It's such a huge industry. There's over 3 million customer service agents in the US and many more around the world. And we're the fastest way to get a perfect support team. We provide unlimited support agents through our managed marketplace of US-based support agents. We do all the hiring, training, and scheduling. We ensure that they provide fast responses 24/7 using our machine learning technology. How does it work? Well, a brand like Finesse can hire Becky. She's a stay-at-home parent and a military spouse to respond to their messages. All they need to do is connect their email and social channels. Becky will practice on previous messages, previous conversations, and then she can get selected to start responding. Well, the question is, how does Becky know how to answer the questions? Because ChatDesk gives her the answers. On the right here is a screenshot from our app. When a new message comes in, she'll get a notification, and then she'll get these suggested responses, which are very similar to how Gmail Smart Reply works. She can select the response and send it out. Whenever she does that, she's actually giving us more data, which improves the quality of our suggestions and improves the quality of our routing. And the more companies we get, the more message we get, which gives a nice data network effect. You're probably thinking, what's different here? You've seen a lot of customer support companies, but one area that we focus on is public social. All these brands run ads on Facebook and Instagram, and they post content on TikTok, and they get lots of comments and messages. We pull in all those messages, we filter out the spam and chit chat, and we serve up personalized responses to send out. Actually, the major platforms that you're familiar with don't really support public social. We also allow companies to get started in one click. They just have to connect their channels, and ChatDesk experts can get up and running in a day. Another differentiator is that by having a human in the loop, we're able to solve 100% of use cases. Those nuanced situations like cancellations or refunds. Typically, chatbots can only handle around 40% of conversations because they can't handle that complexity. So what's the traction? We have over 200 companies on our platform, a lot of fast-growing SMB and mid-market brands, but also enterprise companies like Bark and Moo and Vera Bradley. And we're starting to go into new sectors like fintech and healthcare and education. What's the impact for the customer? Well, they see increased sales, higher customer satisfaction, and faster response times. What's our go-to-market? Historically, we've used outbound sales and upselling our customers and getting referrals. We have 132% net revenue retention. We have some new exciting channels like product-led growth through some new products and partnerships with folks like Facebook and Gorgeous and Zendesk. They're actually sending us customers. So who's the team? My previous background, I was at Google for 7 years as a product manager, most recently working on voice search and the Google Assistant. We have folks doing data science and machine learning. And my co-founder, Andrew, and I met through McKinsey, where he focused on call center operations and customer experience design. Our mission is to solve customer service and create jobs. We want to become the #1 customer service company in the world.
Thank you, Aneto. Question from the audience. How do you ensure quality responses from the ChatDesk agents on the platform? And how will you scale the human required part of the solution?
Great, yeah, so we ensure quality through several different approaches. First, the ChatDesk experts practice on previous conversations. They get scored continuously, and the top performers get selected. Second, all the responses they send are always perfectly accurate and on brand because they're pulled from previous responses that the company has sent to other customers in the past. Finally, we have a 24/7 team we call the Center for Excellence. They're the ones who onboard the ChatDesk experts and give them feedback, and they're monitoring everything that's happening, and they'll step in if it's needed and correct a response in the rare situation that happens. The second part of this question asks, how we scale the human side. It turns out we don't have a challenge there at all. We have thousands of people on our network and thousands of people on our wait list. It turns out if you tell people you can work from home on your phone for brands that you love, everyone wants to do it. Not everyone's a good fit, but everyone wants to do it. And especially in our current climate, our current society, unfortunately, a lot of folks need supplementary income and they need a flexible schedule. There's a lot of folks who are stay-at-home parents, students, and this type of work is a great fit for them. So we're not supply constrained at all, which is great news for this type of marketplace.
Thank you, Aneto. Next, I'm happy to introduce Bobby Bryant from DOS to tell us about his Houston, Texas-based startup, building a digital, voice activated real estate marketplace that empowers consumers to speak, text, or type questions about properties nationwide and receive accurate, easy answers instantly.
My name is Bobby Bryant. I'm the CEO and founder of DOS, a voice activated, intelligent personal assistant designed to radically evolve the way people search, service, and transact real estate. Fundamentally, the real estate industry has operated the same way since it was formalized in 1908. Agents and the real estate industry have benefited tremendously from all of the technological advancements that have saved them both time and money. But what about you? What about the consumer? Why hasn't that savings trickled down to buyers and sellers? How is it possible that the real estate commissions have remained historically the same, 6% to 7%, for over 113 years? And what about the laborious process to buy and sell a home? Doesn't it feel like the real estate industry was strategically designed to be more complicated than it needed to be? The solution is an end to end digital real estate marketplace that better automates the buying and selling process, reduces transaction costs, and increases transactional transparency. Let's face it, consumers today are different. Currently, millennials are the largest purchasers of homes in the United States. Equal in size, Gen Z is beginning to enter the housing market. These two tech savvy generations want what they want when they want it. They want instant access to accurate information that helps them make better decisions, and they want great service at a fair price. That's why our mission at DOS is to make homeownership in America more accessible, affordable, and easier to manage. Taking a multimodal approach, we've built DOS via an intelligent user interface that empowers our users to speak, text, or type any question about any property to get accurate, easy, and instant answers. Our objective is to centralize, democratize, and humanize big data for all things real estate. This type of technological design and development represents the dawn of a new paradigm shift. Our patent pending interface has the potential to enhance everything that artificial intelligence has to offer. From image recognition to machine learning, our technology empowers a user to deep dive and have a more intuitive experience with data when deciding to buy, sell, or service their home. The real estate industry is the largest asset class in the world, and DOS has a unique opportunity to capture more revenue per transaction via a digital real estate marketplace that generates income along the entire ecosystem of services that are provided to buyers, homeowners, landlords, renters, and sellers. On the one side, you have a consumer that's engaging DOS, searching, asking questions, and asking to be put in contact with a service provider. On the other side, you have service providers that want to be connected with consumers. DOS earns a portion of the commission for instantly making these connections through our digital marketplace. We are beyond excited about our traction. To highlight, as of September 21st, our public beta is now live in Austin, Dallas, and Houston with MLS data and a myriad of other unique data sources. We are currently launching in North Carolina. We've recently sold our first franchise in South Carolina, and we have over 50 franchise requests to open DOS throughout the country. Although we are product focused at this time to ensure a superior customer experience, we are currently generating significant revenue. Although not noted here, our primary competitive advantage is our team. Obsessed with solving the problems previously mentioned, we have the right combination of real estate and tech experts that collectively want to improve the real estate industry. However, to highlight, DOS addresses the entire life cycle of home ownership. The average time a person lives in their home is 8 to 12 years. DOS wants to be there before, during, and after your purchase of a home. I'm lucky to have a rock star team. Chris, he comes with Pixar and DreamWorks on his resume. Jacob, a prodigy from IBM Watson. Dr. Joan is the founder of Women in Voice and a voice expert. Tara was a top 20 hire at Redfin. And Russ, he was Zillow before Zillow. He is the pioneer of MLS listed homes on the internet with a disruptive search engine in the late 90s called eRealty. Our ask, we will begin raising our seed round within 60 days and are seeking to identify a lead investor. Lastly, please give our public beta a try. Again, my name is Bobby Bryant. Thank you.
Thanks, Bobby. A question for you from one of our registrants. Given DOS's ability to span multiple disciplines, including property search, financing, home improvement, how will you, one, help users recognize the art of the possible without too much instruction? And two, ensure that the transitions among these disciplines are seamless?
You know what? That's a great question. Voice technology is an interface that would change how we engage with computers and data. I mean, it's inevitable, right? And all of the data demonstrates how its use is rapidly increasing, especially among millennials, Gen Z, and the generations after that. This fact alone is what we understand at DOS that our competitors don't understand. And while we are building a next era real estate marketplace designed for the characteristics and habits of generations that are here now and those to come. DOS is designed for consumers that want cutting edge technology in the palm of their hands and on the go when it comes to the largest purchase most people make in their lives. We've built this solution from the ground up and into the DNA of DOS. So it doesn't give this gimmicky built on feel, but rather a useful and necessary tool that's sticky and empowers people to get all the data available in an area about a home or service providers in order to make the best decision without having to engage a gatekeeper to get pertinent information that's been historically kept behind this golden curtain. Voice allows us to provide every data set that exists in an easy way that's similar to how we communicate with each other as humans. So DOS is simply better, faster, and smarter.
Thanks so much, Bobby. Staying in Texas, it is my pleasure to introduce Gigi from Fetfully, based in Dallas. She will tell us about how her company digitizes wedding planning experiences, allowing planners to generate greater revenue and improve their offerings to customers.
Your wedding day is one of the best days of your life. But what happens when getting to I do becomes I don't want to because you're having a miserable wedding planning experience and everything is going wrong? We all know someone who was excited about wedding planning and then became a bridezilla. Each year, 2.5 million couples get married. 3 out of 4 are doing it without a wedding planner because they're expensive. They rely on a checklist for help, but this one size fits all method doesn't work. Couples are taking on loads of stress and spending tons of money for something they'll only do once, if they're lucky. Wedding planning is not about you and your relationship, but it should be. And now it can be. The Faithfully Technology platform learns who you are and creates your dream wedding while removing the stress and bringing back the joy. We save couples time, money, and provide a more pleasurable experience by using predictive modeling and personality algorithms to select the right vendors, the right products, and streamline the entire vendor management process. From managing a team of vendors to a massive to do list, there are lots of details and moving pieces along the wedding planning journey. And things can get overwhelming when couples are doing it on their own, just like this slide. But we worked with industry veterans to map this process so each couple is matched with vendors who will work best with them. Then they're booked at the ideal time and receive all the information they need at the exact moment they need it. We also researched every single task a couple needs to perform throughout the wedding planning process and crafted a unique experience based on users' personality types so couples complete planning tasks in a manner and order that's less stressful for them. They receive correspondence based on how their brain processes information. And because we know what's important to them, we eliminate the headache of going back and forth with tough decisions by weighing the pros and cons for them. And the best part, you are not on your own. Faithfully marries a wedding planner with the smart decision making of our platform to deliver a customer designed and improved planning experience, combining the efficiency of technology with the social and emotional support of a human. But it's not just any planner. With Faithfully, Couples get access to experts in every category along the journey. They're the gurus who work with celebrities like Justin Timberlake and Beyonce. And those same experts are also early investors in Fitfully. How do I know this process works? I use this technique as a wedding planner. And while my colleagues were doing a wedding a month, I was doing 2 every weekend. 8 times the average planner, just because of technology. Our team brings years of industry experience, with our tech being led by Assad Raza, who's been featured in Forbes 30 Under 30. And to date, we've generated over $2 million in revenue. And now we have over 1,000 couples in our pipeline. And it turns out every wedding booked generates 3 more events planned with Fitfully each year. And because we direct all spending through our marketplace of products and vendors, the value of our customer increases even more. Fitfully is changing the way people plan all events, starting with weddings. We make the experience amazing with lower stress and a lower price. We invite you to come along with us as we empower everyone to plan weddings that are unforgettable for the right reasons. Will you say I do?
Congratulations, Gigi. And a question for you before you go. How do you ensure that your online user experience rivals that of an in-person wedding planner as you continue to automate and introduce artificial intelligence?
That's a really good question. I think the personality piece is what's most important here because it gives us a chance to really get to know the person on a deeper level, something that happens typically when a planner is meeting with you at Starbucks and things like that. But then also having the video feature to where people are seeing that it's a real person on the other side. It's not just technology that's doing it for you. They are able to have that same connection that we've all learned how to build over the last 2 years being stuck in the house. So it's rivaling that of an in-person experience because we have that emotional piece, that social piece, and then coupling that with technology, I think beats it to me.
Thank you, Gigi and Fitfully. And with that, we've reached the halfway point of today's program. Before we dive into the rest of Demo Day, we'd once again like to look back at the journey our founders have had over the last 10 weeks.
How do we solve hard problems? We get a representative mix of people that reflect society so we can actually have better solutions, better ideas, and we get closer to what clients want, what customers want, what products are needed because we have the right representation there.
Everyone, welcome to Google for Startups Accelerator for Black Founders. It's so exciting to meet you all finally. It's been a long time coming.
Our mission is to diversify clinical trials and make sure that clinical research is inclusive of everybody.
Our mission is to radically evolve the way people search, service, and transact real estate.
Our mission is to unlock the power of proximity by turning strangers into neighbors and neighbors into friends.
Adaptics is pioneering AI-powered automation software in order to make the enterprise autonomous.
Our mission is to make online wedding and event planning more personal and bring more joy to those special moments and celebrations.
And our goal is to foster student engagement and attendance.
We need to use better energy, solar, and then use energy better.
Our mission is to give everyone peace of mind about the water they drink.
Our mission is to drive financial inclusion one relationship at a time.
We want to create a package of care for each parent to ensure that they have the best possible health outcomes.
Our mission is to solve customer service and create jobs.
The program starts by working on OKRs with your mentors. Week 2, we dive into product design and UX.
For us at Byteboard, it was very much about solving a real problem. And I think what kind of captures what you do as an entrepreneur is you try and solve a real problem in a functional, delightful, and scalable way.
Your roadmap should almost like reflect the conversations and the information you're gathering from all your stakeholders.
Followed by Tech Week and ML.
The hard part is eliciting what they really want, because to some extent they don't know.
And then next stop, Growth Week.
The big difference between a desktop and a mobile user, although they could be the exact same person, is just the usability of it.
The brand kind of acts like a filtering mechanism for the communication that's going out from the entity that is your company and like from the users. Like they should be engaging with you in a consistent, expected kind of fashion.
We'll conclude with people in leadership, and then we'll celebrate with Demo Day and graduation.
Guys, I'm excited. Just want to tell you, I'm about to do my demo day. And so I'm a bit nervous, excited, because it all leads up to this little moment.
Congratulations to all the Black founders and your very creative and wonderful initiatives. It was a delight meeting with you, and I hope to keep in touch with you. And I know you are all going to be very successful. And please let me know if there's anything that I can do to help you.
Congratulations. I'm so excited you reached this wonderful milestone in your lives. I know it was not easy getting here, and you have so much more to do. But don't forget to enjoy it. Have fun while you're learning so many new things along the way.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Welcome back, and I hope you enjoyed our program recap. And congratulations to all of our founders and their teams. Up next, I'd like to introduce Mommy Monitor, a Toronto-based maternal care services platform that provides an easily accessible and culturally safe range of services that gives parents extra support customized to their particular needs and wants.
Hi, my name is Elsie Amoko, and I'm the founder and CEO of Mommy Monitor. Throughout this presentation, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about our technology and what we've developed, why we prioritize Black women and Black birthing persons, the huge market available to us, and the great things we've done within the last 6 months. But first, I want to tell you a story about Sadine. Sadine is a young woman that we met a little over 2 years ago, and she was one of our first clients. Sadine had multiple fibroids and multiple miscarriages, and she was pregnant again. And she really didn't want to lose this child, although she was told that she may from her clinician. We supported her by providing her with a full care team. And 2 years later, she's given birth to a beautiful little boy and raised him. And she continues to thank us to this day. Sadine is the real example of what taught us how significant that line between life and death can be in maternal care. And this is the problem. Too many Black birthing persons throughout the world continue to have misinformation, a lack of access to services and other supports, specifically social support, and a lack of culturally safe care. And all of them is putting them in a position where they can lose their life while they give birth. The solution is Mommy Monitor. At Mommy Monitor, we provide a care access platform that connects healthcare providers, birthing persons, and providers to a diverse range of safe, culturally safe maternal healthcare services and supports. And we do this by ensuring that our care is customized to each person, that they're offered a full circle of care, and that every person who engages them provides them with culturally safe care. We first connect users to our marketplace. We allow them to share their preferences with us. We assess based on those preferences and make a recommendation. And then we provide the user with the maternal care plan. The user then can begin using our services, and then we follow up throughout their process with us. We envision a future where maternal care access can be transglobal, which just means that we want to see clinicians in countries like Canada be able to serve people virtually throughout the world to help to ease the burden of care access to ensure that everyone has care that is accessible. Our revenue model currently includes a service-based model because we're offering services to birthing persons directly through healthcare clinics, but our app will have a prepaid subscription model and a revenue sharing model. The market is really huge right now. We have the opportunity to tap into a maternity care market in North America that can cross $3 billion by 2023. And also just the knowledge that throughout the world, people continue to give birth every single day. Mommy Monitor is a unique space because we prioritize the health of Black birthing persons. We recognize that and we have embedded that in our model of care. And because of that, we're able to provide culturally safe maternal health care, which is unlike many other telemedicine companies and maternal health care companies. Currently, within the last 6 months, we've had 4 new contracts, 2 of which are with the government, worth over $500,000, and we continue to finalize our partnerships with clinics where we'll be providing services and serve the community as well. We value the position of marketing and the ability to provide aggressive social media marketing in the future, knowing that that will help us to really get a larger market. We also continue to use email subscription and develop partnerships with new networks, government, and professional organizations. Within the next 6 months, we see ourselves building new partnerships, launching our app, and entering into pre-seed rounds. Our team is an amazing team full of individuals with PhD level education, clinicians, and engineers who all truly believe in the mission of Mommy Monitor and want to serve birthing persons and ensure that they have the best possible care. Accelerators we've been a part of have continued to educate us, and the awards and media that we've been given continue to shine a light on the work that we're doing. And we are forever grateful for that because it's put us in a position to be here today, where we can come to you with our ask. And today our ask is new partnerships with clinics, hospitals, and maternal care organizations in the US, in addition to $500,000 to $2 million for human capital and research for our predictive tool, which is phase 2 of our technology, in addition to general tech development. We are in a really interesting space where we have the opportunity to change what maternal health care looks like for people globally. We want you guys to be a part of that. If you want to get in touch with us, you can reach us at mommymonitor.ca, or you can email me directly at elsie@mommymonitor.ca. Thank you.
Thank you, Elsie. And our audience would love to know, given that your offering involves partnership with government agencies, how do you plan to customize services by region or country and to accommodate local regulations and culture?
So, first of all, thank you for that question. What we've identified, I think, more than anything else in building this model is the first thing we thought about was this. We thought about the fact that, first of all, we're located in Canada, and obviously the healthcare system is quite different, just globally. And because of that, the way that we function in this country is not the way that we plan to function in other spaces, in other contexts. And that was the entire purpose of our model when we began to build it. We built a model that we knew that we'd be able to use in any context, and where we'd be able to adapt the cultural and other necessary ideals of that space to ensure that care can be customized, because that's the whole point of this model. So our technology is built in a way where people can do that, so that no matter where we go, anyone can kind of use Mommy Monitor, can use our API, can use Mommy Monitor, and can continue to use our services according to what their local customs are, what their government regulations are for that state or that country, and whatever ideals that they may have as a nation that are important to them to be included in the maternal care.
Thank you to Elsie and team. Up next, we will hear from Dr. Reginald Parker of Optimal Tech Corporation, based in Atlanta, Georgia. Optimal Tech intelligently eliminates electricity waste, lowers operational expenses, and helps to save the planet.
Hi, I'm Reginald Parker, founder and CEO of Optimal Technology Corporation. After developing the first utility solar project in the country and 30 thereafter, I learned 2 salient things. 1, we needed to use better energy. The solar panels that we were using, number 1, took up too much land. 2, they were not as efficient as they needed to be. And 3, took a long time to deploy. The second thing that I learned was after people had solar, year after year, their power would go up. And so they were not using energy well. So this is a massive problem. How massive? 1.4 trillion of energy is wasted annually. And you may ask why. Now, this is how it looks. The world needs to do 2 things: use energy better and use better energy. But take a look at this graph. if you are able to cut the amount of energy you use and you're able to find cheaper sources for that amount of energy, you can cut your energy bill up to 60%. First thing you have to do is monitor how you use your energy, and then maintain the pieces and key equipment that use that energy so that you can keep your energy bill low and extend the lifetime of the key electrical pieces of equipment. Third thing you need to do is find smart appliances or make them smart. And in doing so, you can regulate them, turn off lights and things of that nature. This is how you keep a low energy profile. So this is our vision. Whether or not you are any of these industries, at your breaker box, we put in a sensor that's able to send information up to the cloud to figure out what's going on, and then send information to you so you can make decisions. We call this reliable intelligence and actionable recommendations. Some of those recommendations may be renewable energy, energy efficiency, utility tech, smart appliances, or even storage. So in my home, I took the cover off the breaker box. I put sensors at the main artery that starts into the breaker box, and a gateway that sent the information up to the cloud, to Google Cloud, where we're able to do AI ML. That information over a time series analysis was able to show us that we're using more energy on our AC than normal. And it recommended that we should get more air filters. This is the type of thing that we could do. So here's a case study. Our client, the National Sports Center, is using $49,000 a month in electricity costs. Through our recommendation, we're cutting it 43% by using a more efficient heat pump, a 1 acre scale solar canopy with a microgrid solution. A lot of our clients this year and next year want similar type of solutions. And so our revenue model is basic. One, we charge you for the energy management advice solution recommendation. And then when you go to the marketplace to purchase, we put a small surcharge on that. But because we buy in such volume, it's cheaper for us to help you to do that by using our third-party relationships. And so the go-to-market strategy is basic. Our marketplace starts through our engagement relationships, whether or not that's a renewable installer, HVAC installer, electrician, handyman. Those folks are the people who put the information at your junction box, and we go from there. So look, this year we have 2.9 million in revenue, and we're looking to do 10x based on the contracts that we have for next year. We are able to do what we do because I have a fantastic team, over 140 years of experience, as well as backed by people like Google for Startups, an ecosystem that allows us to continue to grow, and then recognition through awards that what we're doing is important. So we're looking to continue to grow through a couple of pilots on B2B2C primarily. Investors, we're looking to close a round. So if you know anybody, let us know. And by January, we want a couple of more goals to be accomplished so that our next year is better than our this year. So thank you, Google for Startups, for helping us deliver the message of get optimal tech.
Awesome job, Reggie. One more question from our audience. What makes you different from your competitors? And is there a residential application for your technology?
Great questions. Now, in terms of what makes us different is we do more than energy monitoring. We do management. We just don't give you data. We interpret the data so that it will make sense to you. So, you know, the big companies, they have energy managers. We become your energy manager at pennies on the dollar. In terms of the residential application, we're expanding what we're doing from small to medium-sized buildings to residential applications, and we're doing that through our channel partners. such as electricians, renewable energy installers, HVAC installers. They will put that at the junction box, and then you'll be able to work with us as your energy manager.
Thank you to Reggie and your entire team. Next, we'll be hearing from Sugar, a Los Angeles, California-based startup that provides software to building owners and managers to transform the residential experience.
Hi, my name is Fatima Diko, and I'm the CEO of Sugar. I'm excited to talk about how we're reimagining residential living. There are millions of apartments all over the country and all over the world where residents feel disconnected from one another. The problem is that the current apps for residents just aren't sticky. There aren't features that are delivering daily value, and as a result, residents aren't using them as much, and as a result, are interacting with their community much less. This is a big issue for property managers and owners because community engagement is directly correlated with lease renewal. The more residents know other residents, the more likely they are to renew their lease. The problem is that the current apps in the ecosystem are inefficient for residents. Many aspects of the UI UX are not optimized for residents, and as a result, residents are just not using them as much. Our solution is to focus on the key aspects of consumer mobile and design features that residents would actually want to use, and combine that with the world of property management to create a product that's best in class for residents. One core aspect of our product is integrating with access control systems. This would allow people to unlock doors and share keys with Sugar so that they're in the app on a daily basis. Once they're in the app on a daily basis, they're a lot more engaged in their community and can interact with others in their building at an increased frequency. Many of the features we designed were things that we would have wanted in our resident engagement apps inside our buildings. From a marketplace where you can buy and lend items, to asking for last-minute things you need to borrow right away, to a messaging section where you could not only message other residents, but also reach property management in minutes if you need quick support. The app has been designed to really put residents above anything else. We also designed a property management dashboard where managers can see key analytics on their properties. This would allow them to see which properties are doing well and which could use more support, which could use more events and things that can boost resident engagement. We've even added cool aspects such as QR codes that make it super simple for delivery personnel and visitors to reach residents and quickly gain access into the building. As we continue to build a product, we're focusing on integrations over time that would deliver the most value to residents to create a holistic experience that takes care of all their residential needs. The business model is on a per door per month basis. The basic aspect of the product, the mobile app and the dashboard, is at $1 per door per month with one-time setup fees to plug into access control systems or other property management products. Only 7 months after launch, we've reached $347K in ARR and are continuing to grow. As we look to differentiate our product, we have a focus on resident-to-resident interactions inside the platform with a key differentiator of integrating with access control systems. Again, this allows people to unlock doors with Sugar, be in the app at an increased frequency, and as a result, engage with others in their buildings much more. In June of this year, we've raised a $2.5 million seed round to continue growing our customer base in a repeatable and scalable fashion. Why now? The rise of keyless entry is clear. With Gen Z being one of the fastest growing group of renters, they're interested in keyless entry more than ever before. More people are using QR codes as a result of the pandemic. And also as a result of the pandemic, loneliness has gone up and more people are spending more time at home than ever before. With 1 in 4 Americans working remotely, there's an increased need to build community with the people who are closest by. Our team is excited to build this product alongside others in the ecosystem, such as real estate investment firms and other prop tech leaders, so that we can build a product that works well with other products in the ecosystem. Our team is excited to build a product that we wish we had. As we continue to redefine residential living, we'd love for you to reach out to learn more about our product. Visit sugarliving.com or reach out at hello@sugarliving to learn more.
Thank you, Fatima. Question from the audience for you. How do you plan to counter the resistance to download a new app and maintain ongoing engagement amongst residents?
That's an awesome question. When we think about introducing the app to residents, there's really two aspects, the utility side and then the community engagement side. When I talk about the utility side of things, I'm talking about the features that are necessary for the resident to exist in their apartment community. So these are things such as unlocking doors, paying rent, submitting maintenance requests. And so there's this necessary element to downloading the app to do these things. And then when it comes to the community engagement side of things, once people are actually in there and using the app for these more necessary tasks, we see increased adoption for the features in the community portal. So it's really a combination of, hey, you need this app to exist in the building. And once they've gotten a taste of Sugar, we've seen really good engagement metrics. And then finally, we're always surprised at how many apartments are out there that don't even have any app in place to begin with. And so while there are many apartments where they're introducing a new app, there's a ton that are being introduced to a resident engagement app for the first time.
Amazing work to Sugar and the team. Next, we have Shaid from Varuna, a Chicago-based water distribution system monitoring company, providing real-time visibility, awareness, and insights for water systems, enabling optimal operations and consumer safety.
Hi, my name is Shay Fabade, CEO and co-founder of Varuna. And at Varuna, we provide visibility, insights, and awareness to water system operators so they can deliver clean water to you and I consistently. Sadly, there are hundreds of bore water warnings across the US, impacting close to 14 million customers daily. What is a bore water warning, you say? It is an indication from your water system company suggesting they really don't know what is in your water at that point in time when they issue the bore water warning. We're seeing increasing frequency of bore water warnings across the US, and this is because in real time, most of the time, water system operators do not know what's going on in the distribution network. They know what's going on at the plant where they do the work of cleaning the water, but once it goes in the pipes, they lose sight of what's in the water. And consequently, they send a technician in a truck to go take a sample and bring it back to the lab, an inefficient, non-real time, and sadly, archaic approach to making sure they deliver clean water consistently. And these blind spots, these locations where the technician goes to capture the sample, are EPA-defined vulnerability spots within a distribution system, and these exist across the world. And the reason we have blind spots is the reasons you probably expect as you hear me speak. Crumbling infrastructure, distant locations between the treatment plant and the distribution endpoints of a city. And so to address this lack of real-time data and the blind spot issue for water systems, we've developed a solution called the Beacon. These are sensors that capture critical water health data from these blind spot locations. We pull that data into AI-powered dashboards from, again, I'll mention, blind spots that have no power or comms, and we pull that data into AI-powered dashboards that allow the technician to get alerts as to where there might be a problem, allow decision makers at the water system to allocate resources as necessary. Our system optimizes the routes the technician drives through to ensure they address the most critical issues up front, and immediately they get the alert. And as we gather more data by dropping more beacon sensors across the country, we can start to predict contamination shocks and improve the decision-making capabilities of water system operators. As you see on the screen are examples of Verona beacons dropped in blind spot locations across several of our customers. We prevent violations and increase their decision-making capability. We like to say we give them eyes where they didn't have before, with 100x visibility and 40% operational efficiency improvements. And we deliver this solution as a simple software as a service. They pay us for access to blind spots in our software, and the hardware, the IoT devices we deploy are baked into the cost of that hardware, of the software as a service. And it's a huge, critical, and growing market opportunity. As I mentioned, we're seeing more water warnings, and as we see the increasing issues of infrastructure decay across the country, we're seeing more of a need for the service we provide. And this is converging with growing recognition that climate change is a big problem, and there's the policy and regulatory and financial weight of the government being put behind this to help us all collectively address this problem. And this is showing up in the ability that we've seen to get more contracts at an increasing pace for Verona. We've gotten our two largest customers in the last couple of months here, with New York City becoming a customer, and Aqua, one of the largest investor-owned utilities, also signing a contract with Verona recently. And the team behind this is what I'm most proud of. I've spent about 18 years of my career focused on technology and utilities. This is my second startup with my co-founder, Jamel Carter, and his focus is on sales and business development into enterprise and government. And we've surrounded ourselves with experts in IoT, AI, and full stack dev, and investors that are fully committed to the path we've set before us as we embark on deploying thousands of Verona beacons across the country over the next few years to ensure clean water to customers consistently. Join us.
Thank you, Shay. My question for you: which processes have you or do you plan to next automate in order to provide a foundation for scaling your business?
Thanks so much for that question. So while what we do at Verona is put sensors in locations to capture real-time data to improve decision-making, our vision here is to digitally represent the physical system of water distribution in utilities and buildings. And the next process that we've actually been working on in our time with the Google Accelerator here is taking all that historic data that gives us the information for building a model that represents a water system. We're accelerating the pace of taking that historic data in whatever form it's in and using AI to digitize that data so that once a water system signs up with us or a commercial building signs up with us, what they have when they log into their account is all the historic data that they might have manually captured to inform the future decisions that our AI and decision-making and insights platform enables them to make to ensure consistent, clean water for their customers.
Thanks to Shay and the Verona team. Last but not least, I'm thrilled to introduce Dennis from Xerchu out of Dallas, Texas. Xerchu is a relationship-based lending application that simplifies loans between friends, family, and trusted relationships while giving borrowers the option to pay creditors directly using their borrowed funds.
Hi, my name is Dennis Kell, CEO, co-founder here at Xerchu, where we are reinventing lending, borrowing, and bill payments. Every day, millions of Americans get a bill in the mail that they simply cannot afford to pay. In fact, according to estimates from the Federal Reserve Bank, Americans lend and borrow over $200 billion a year with each other. Americans also paid over $30 billion in fees to predatory and payday lenders. Yet, 82% of family members say they're willing to help a family member financially. With a mission to drive financial inclusion, one relationship at a time, Xerchu is the world's first relationship-based lending application to formalize and simplify loans between friends and family and trusted relationships, while automating the repayment process and giving those borrowers the option to pay their creditors direct using those borrowed funds. The Xerchu solution is simple, it's safe, it's secure. In this example, using one of our enterprise partners, AT&T, Tom is borrowing $100 from Jane to pay his past due AT&T bill. Jane approves that loan. Once she approves that loan, instead of Xerchu sending those funds directly to Tom, we send those funds directly to AT&T minus our 5% success fee so Tom can keep his service active. Xerchu is a B2B revenue model. It's performance-based. We are not a collection agency. We purely process loan payments between two known entities, and we use our patent pending technology to capture those funds and send them directly to those creditors. We're all about relationships, helping people up and down the income scale so that borrowers can get access to credit and capital from the people who know them best that they desperately need to get from one bill to the next or one paycheck to the next without paying a 400% interest rate to a payday or predatory lender. Lenders can also leverage Xerchu to lend money more responsibly with bill pay transparency baked in. And our enterprise partners can capture those at-risk dollars while creating a better customer experience without terminating or disconnecting that person's service. These are just some of the enterprise partners that we have on the platform today, and we continue to add more on a regular basis. We have amazing capital partners, including Google for Startups, that brings so much more to the table than just capital. We have unlimited access to Google's resources to build out Xerchu's AI and ML product, and we're super excited about where we're going with this relationship. This is our core team today, where we would not be able to achieve the traction that we have today without this awesome team. Myself and my co-founder, Michael C., it's not our first rodeo. We know how to build high-performing teams and exit-ready companies. In fact, Chase Dillon just joined us recently from PayPal and Venmo, where he was their head of growth and partnerships. Alex came over from SAP and Qualtrics. Arian Clark worked for a few Mark Cuban companies, and Armor is just a rock star engineer to sort of fill out our leadership team here. And we continue to augment this team with talented and gifted people who have a passion for something outside of themselves. Here's our traction today. We closed on a $4 million seed round back in January of this year. We processed over $10 million in loans on the application across 14,000 plus different loans. The average loan size is just over $700. The average payback period is 6 months. We have over 100,000 registered users on the platform, and we have an interesting growth model. The average user invites 2 new users to the platform that they can lend or borrow money with. Our growth and go-to-market strategy is through our enterprise partners. These are our financial projections and where we're going. In the next 3 to 5 years, we believe through our unique business model and patent pending technology that Xerchu can achieve $250 million in revenue. And we have a clear path to get there. So what's next, and how do we get there together? First, we're looking to land and expand our enterprise partnerships based on the synergies that we see across the different sectors, including utilities and healthcare. We're also looking to double click and double down on our relationship with Google by expanding our technology stack with Google's AI and ML technology to create a world-class product. Last but not least, we're looking to complete our Series A and complete over $300 million in process loans. Thank you so much for your time today, and we look forward to building something transformational with you together. Thank you.
Thank you, Dennis. And one final question from our viewers. How do you ensure that all users on Xerchu feel safe and secure about their data and transactions?
User data and privacy is always top of mind and top priority for us at Xerchu. In fact, we go through extra steps every day to ensure that we're protecting the integrity of the platform and making sure that every user feels that their information is safe and secure. We encrypt data at rest as well as in transit. We also make sure that we never store any personal information on our servers as well. So any personal information that Xerchu actually asks for and requests as part of the onboarding or the KYC, Know Your Customer process, that information is only used for the purposes of verifying that every user on our platform is who they say they are. Again, we are obsessed with protecting the integrity of the product and the platform so that all users feel safe to lend and borrow money with friends and family.
And just like that, we have concluded our second annual Google for Startups Accelerator for Black Founders Demo Day. On behalf of Google and everyone who made this program possible, I want to share a tremendous thank you. Thank you to our 11 startups and the awesome founders and teams behind them. It has been a true privilege and pleasure to work with you all. Thank you to the Googlers and partners who have generously offered mentorship and support to our founders and their teams and the work that you do for our ecosystem. And lastly, thank you to all of you. Our viewers, thank you for tuning in to learn more about these awesome companies. And as always, we have one final call to action for our viewers. To our investors and partners out there, our founders would love to continue the conversation, so please reach out. To potential customers and users, visit their websites, learn more about their awesome tech and the companies that they're building. And finally, to all of you watching out there, please spread the word on this demo day. It exists on demand after now, and we'd love for you to share it with your network. Interested in connecting with our founders? Reach out anytime or email them directly. And finally, congratulations and wishing you all a fantastic final months of 2021. See you all next year.